Yeah, you would know better than I would if he goes unnoticed. I think we tend to notice him every day. He just does so much for our football team. I mean, if you come to a game, you see him everywhere. On special teams and on offense, and he's on every kind of special team. He's hard to miss. Well, I think the first thing is he's intelligent. He's a very, very intelligent young man. The second thing is he works really hard at his craft. He's a very prideful young man. So whatever you ask him to do, he's going to invest in it to the fullest his ability, which is really, for him, I think it's a great compliment to him. Secondly, I think you see there's the athleticism that he has. He's a guy that, we've always been a team that has pulled our center quite a bit, and we knew that that's something that he would excel at. But I think when you look at him, the way he's built and the way that he can bend, he plays at really good angles, which has allowed him, and he plays with a tremendous amount of torque, so he has the ability to, squeeze on some players that may be even bigger than him. We just thought that he was a guy that was able to really right the ship in there and kind of lead that offensive line from the inside out. Yeah, I think every team's a little bit different in what their philosophy is and how they want to attack a defense. And some people are more vertical down the field, some are a blend of others. I think it comes down to what your players can do typically. I know it seems that there's a lot of them in this conference, but quite frankly, in any way in today's football, I think they're all over the place. And the way the game's played defensively, I think dictates how much of that you can do. And it seems to be that in the last, recent years, defenses have shifted a little bit of the way they played into playing defense a little bit from the inside out, whereas opposed to a couple of years ago it was outside in, and just different ways that safeties are supporting and those kind of things. So, for us specifically, it's some weeks it's really good, some weeks it's not, and obviously it's a good way to get a player in the ball in space. And some people have equated it to, the toss sweep of, a way just to get the ball out there. And also I think you see it now that's in vogue, the run pass option. I think some people consider that, I can't really tell you much for what other people think about it, but it's been something that's been pretty good for us, in the past. And, I'm sure we'll probably see a little bit from our end of it as well this week from the Texas Tech offense, I'm sure. Yeah, in some ways, yeah. I think it's trying to find some formations to find ways to run the football is always, critical. And, I think we would have liked to run the ball maybe a little bit more effectively last week. We attempted to. I thought the conditions probably hurt us a little bit. But that's something that we have to continue to get better at. And, we're attempting to do so every week. And but yeah, I think sometimes that is. I think especially with the nature of the way we play, I think people want to stop the run, and I think that's always the first thing that every defense wants to do is how do you stop the run. And we got to continue to find ways to do that a little bit better. Yeah, I'd like to have 400 yards rushing a game, but. We have to continue to try to do the things that we feel best to try to get us, just an opportunity to find those yards, however they may be. Well, I think they're unique. They're different than what they've been in the past. They play more of an odd front of a variety of that, and they play with some overhang defenders, and they do a really good job kind of squeezing everything in, and they have some really good linebacker play, and they got some really good guys up front, so they're certainly a challenge as well to find ways to run the football. Well, I think the first thing that we always have to do is we have to follow the game plan that Coach Campbell lays out for us, and I think he always has a great beat on, what do we need to do defensively, offensively, and through special teams to give us a chance to win the football game. And that's the first thing that we always try to do, is just make sure that from an offensive standpoint that what we're doing is matching with the vision of the way that we need to play the football game to have a chance to win the game is. And, if it's a shootout, then, then we got to score more points, hopefully, and if it's not, then, we got to still try to score more points than they do somehow, whatever that may be.